All right, you're good.
Okay. So I kind of made this as like just for them to kind of see what they knew and what they didn't know. So like I gave them this at station 1, station 2, station 3, and station 4. And what they had to do is they did station 1. These were the questions that were at the desk. So they got the questions, answered this, and then they went up to my desk, and then they checked their answers.
Okay.
And I had 2 stipulations. I gave them 10 minutes to do it, and they had to get 4 out of 5 right. If they didn't finish in 10 minutes, or they didn't get 4 out of 5 right when they checked it, they had to go and click on the reinforcement on that slide, and then do the problems
Okay.
for 10 minutes. And then if they did pass, they got to go on to station 2, and then same thing, 10 minutes, and then if they didn't, they would do the reinforcement and then come back. And I did actually notice, like, at first I had very few that finished station 1. They did the reinforcement, and I did let them automatically go on to station 2 without checking with station 1.
Okay.
But then they did station 2 and did better.
Okay.
And then station 3. Now what I also did was, and I didn't get to do it with 4th hour because I only really got to station 1 and station 2. But with 2nd hour today, I did all the stations. And I only gave them this. I didn't give them this.
Okay.
They had to come and get this from me. If they didn't come and pick it up, I gave them this, and I gave them a packet to do of like more practice. Because obviously, if they couldn't come see me in 10 minutes to check their answers, they obviously need to do more work. So
Okay.
I gave them this, and I gave them the packet if they didn't come pick it up beforehand. And then I definitely noticed like pedigrees, even the ones that were finishing this, they struggled in that, but then they realized, hey, let me go and do the work on the computer, and they came and checked it and then did better.
Okay.
So what I think I might try to do is use this not just for this, maybe make it for like other units as well, because I think it's a good way for them to kind of like see what they're doing, what they're not, and like we had those station checks before, but like having it to where I think next time I'm going to try to color code so they know what stations they're at based on the color versus like, because I had it like this, but they didn't read it. And that was another thing, is that I put the parent genotype on there too, so that sometimes they would just answer this and forget to that, and I would mark that wrong because, I mean, we've seen that where they forget to do that. And then same thing with here, there's a question up here. Now it's in this, but they forget to answer that, and that also shows like, hey, you're not reading everything as well.
When they were coming check at your desk,
Yeah.
was it you checking it, or were they checking it with like their own stuff?
So at first I was checking it because it was like a slow stream, but they saw me do it. So then the next time we did it, and I said, here's a Sharpie, go through, check it, and then they were checking it.
Okay.
And I said, like, be honest with yourself, because when I'm not taking this as points, it's more for you to see how much you know, versus like, oh yeah, let me just check it all off and like, I'm done. Because then if they finish station 4, I gave them the set of guide to do.
Yeah.
So like they were always working.
You
It wasn't
didn't
like,
finish and sit
yeah,
idle.
you didn't finish and sit idle. So I think that's the other thing, is like have in place something in case you do have somebody that does. Because I did have one in 4th hour that was like rocking it to where he was like going through each one. And another thing is like, I made this as like kind of you didn't necessarily have, I mean this helps, but like you could follow this and then get a good chunk of the answers
So
too.
did they just use, because some kids can't do the Punnett squares in their head, so did some of them just, you told them to write them down
I told
here?
them to write it down, but that's
Okay,
also like,
yeah.
on the test, we're not
Yeah.
gonna give them a
No,
Punnett
I agree.
square, so they have to be able to do that.
No, 100%, and we don't give them this table either, so.
No.
Yeah.
But I see what you're doing, just check their work, make sure they do it right.
Yeah, and for me, it's easy because I can see,
Yeah.
quickly this.
This is, yeah, what is this?
And then if they didn't get it right, then I tell them like, go back and look at your steps. And if I don't see a Punnett square on there, I'm like, well, you don't have the work done, so you need to. So I don't know. There was something that like I thought about, and obviously you're already past that point, but
No,
it could be.
definitely. I like the fact that they're going to the videos too, because like my kids are realizing that they're missing stuff, but not necessarily why. What I started today was with these charts, like the type of inheritances,
Mhm.
and I have these sticky notes that are like go along with
That's
them.
good.
So like I'm passing them out to my class,
Yeah.
like each person's
And
getting
which
a different
one
one,
would you go to? That's
and then
cool.
they have to do that. So like affected female's father does not have the trait.
Yeah.
Well, they have to know like that's here.
Yeah.
So each one of them ends up with 2 sticky notes.
Okay.
Does not skip generations. So these end up with like a definition, and then they each end up with a pedigree, like example that
Okay,
goes
that's
in them.
good.
And then this one ends up with 2 sticky notes, and it gets like the definition,
Mhm.
and then it gets like an example of what the genotypes would look like, same letter,
Yeah.
capital, lowercase. So each of these end up with like 2 boxes, and this is kind of like the reference. It's the same thing that's on their foldable.
Yeah.
Like one of my first hour kids asked me, can you take a picture of this and send it to me? I'm like, baby, this is your inheritance
Yeah.
foldable. This is your pedigree foldable. I said, it's just a different way of looking at it. She was like, oh yeah. Like didn't see that connection.
Yeah.
So I did that first, and I left that up while we were going around.
Okay.
So like they could see like, they were looking at this one and they're like trying to figure out like, well, is it dominant or recessive? And they're like, oh, dominant does not skip. Well, I see a skip, so it has to be.
Yeah.
So like they were using that like anchor
Good.
chart as a
Yeah.
reference, but that's why I was like, you have to know your foldables because you're not
Yes.
gonna be able to look at the anchor
Exactly.
chart then. And then both of my classes this morning, I'm like, there's 2 stickers that are in each box, and I'm getting like 3 and 4 of these in the box, and I'm like, guys, something's wrong. And one of my girls today said, I'm right, and there's already 2 up there, so somebody else is wrong. So like they were arguing there.
So that would be kind of cool to do if like you had it go in rows and like they put it up, and then like if somebody's in that space, you make them have to go put it somewhere else and like
Yeah.
fix it, and then that would be kind of like a good point of like discussion.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about like actually making this like Velcro lemonade,
Yeah, that'd
like
be
poster
good.
kind of thing, because
Yeah.
those stickies aren't gonna stick forever.
Yeah.
I think they do feel more confident, because even though like 6 through 9 or the pedigree, Punnett squares, they didn't do them. All I had them do was figure out the types of inheritance.
Yeah.
I didn't have them actually work it out.
And that was like the big thing that I was telling them yesterday in 4th hour during the observation was like, the Punnett square isn't the problem. Like that's easy. You know how to fill that in. It's figuring out the type
The
of
words to the
Yes.
Punnett square.
and knowing what letters you're using, because that's like their biggest thing. Is like they don't know if I don't
But
know
that's
the letters.
that's why I
they
don't
don't
like
know.
this. Like I think this is needed, but this where they're all together is needed too.
Yeah.
Because this is section off like complete dominance, incomplete and code, they're
Yeah.
kind of determining, and sex you're telling them. But if you just throw a random one out there,
Well,
will they be able to pick?
So I had a station 5 that
Which is the mystery.
was gonna be all of them, and
Okay.
they had to distinguish.
So that would be like the last
That
thing,
would be
like
the last
you
one.
mastered each one.
Yes.
Yes, I like that. I like
So.
that addition.
Yeah, because I've got it in the papers too, because we've got one of the papers that is like that, where it's like, they're sectioned off, but then like one of them it's just random,
Mhm.
but, yeah, so I just thought I'd share that with y'all, and, I've got the stations, I gotta add it to the lesson 9 precursor, but I'll do that.
Cause I saw your little
This-
slides that had
yeah.
like 3 slides, but I was like, I don't know what that means. So they all start on station 1?
They all start at station 1.
And is station 1 like at one lab station?
Yeah, one lab station. So what I did was like, I passed it out, like I had them take one and then pass the folder back, and then everyone started with that as I was getting ready to give out the instructions.
Okay.
And then after 10 minutes, that's when it's like, they're working at their own pace. And at the end of 10 minutes, I call out like,
I wonder if like your station 1, instead of being like a station 1,
Yeah.
could be 1 and be like, everybody gets a pink paper to start. Then
Yeah.
if you finish pink, you go to yellow.
Yeah.
And then green, and then blue, and then like bonus purple at the end.
Yeah.
So it's like they're all like, not really standing here, kind
Oh,
of thing?
no, they went back to their tables.
Okay, so
and
they
did
would
all
like
those,
pick
yeah.
up the
They
station?
would pick up the station,
Okay.
yeah. They would pick it up, so like, they would go in, that's where it's like the colors, cause it would be helpful for me to see, like.
You can glance
I could-
around
yeah,
and
I
see
could
where they
know
were at.
Yeah, get a reading on where they're at. Cause like, they would do station one, and then if they finished, I'd say put it back, and then go to station two and grab it and go back to your desk.
Okay,
And then, so where they're not all standing here and then not standing here, they're going back, cause this one's, there's more questions than just having one of them on there.
and I was proud too, like today, my two girls that sit here in second block, these were my only two Fs first quarter.
Yeah.
Okay, they were the third to finish today.
Nice.
In my review. Okay, and since I'm right here, like I'm always checking in on them.
Yeah.
And so like I was up here checking as they went, and the girl who sits right here by the lab station, she was like, I really like when we get up and move around here. I think it helps me learn. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like when she said that, I was so excited. But the fact that and I said, guys, are y'all? It's like one of y'all getting it and the other one not. And they're like, no, we've both been helping each other out.
Good.
And I was like, good, because if we're both helping each other out, we should see improvements on both test grades. I didn't want one to be like B
Lots
and
of-
one
yeah.
still like F down here, like one's doing all the work.
Yeah. So, I don't know, and maybe we can try to do this with the next unit that we do, or I'll see if there's something that we can use for that, and ideally it would be that each station would progress in difficulty,
Yeah.
which I mean,
This one's easy because it's like a lot of like math
yeah,
kind of thing and like practice problems.
Yeah.
It's hard I find with the more just like conceptual type units.
yeah. But like, I mean, osmosis and like the plants, like those,
Yeah,
you can definitely do
We
that.
can definitely do that with that.
And then like even the,
coming
I
up,
mean, I think it's like really looking at the learning tracker and seeing that and that aspect of like making stations from those lessons.
okay,
And seeing, and then also like looking back at where they struggle the most on test questions and seeing if those are some things that we need to
Yep.
to put on there too. So that's just something that I want to share.
thanks. Alright, so I don't wanna take up like all of our time today, cause I want us to be able to plan and do what we need to do for Monday. But, finish up the benchmark 2.
I don't even remember what question we were on.
We were on the last one, the writing.
Okay.
It's just the.
So that's all we had left. So,
I just didn't really like the third part of the writing.
okay, so what do we give 'em up?
I like the reasoning, or I guess it was more evidence.
I still can't believe how good these test grades were. Still.
So, I'm giving out my benchmark things today. If you look up there, see my orange circle things up there? 3, 4, 8, 9. I had 9 A's on benchmark 1. I have,
How many hundreds? I think you had 100.
and I had 1, 2, 3,
Towns off.
4. I had 4 perfect scores on benchmark 1.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
so this one I've had. 17, and that's not counting my honors class. My
For
honors class, no, were
A's.
A's,
Okay.
and 2 were perfect scores, not in honors.
Yeah.
And, so my honors class. So all the ones that are highlighted in like this yellow column right
Yeah.
here
Or
are
A's.
A's.
Yeah.
And then I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hundreds in that honors class.
So yeah, obviously the rigor for the benchmark.
The
is
rigor
not there.
has, it's not the same, it's
Yeah.
not consistent.
I mean, we should see improvement, but that's too much. That's not an accurate representation of.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take it as I'm good, but I don't think I'm that good. And then like, you look at question 17, look at all my threes.
Yeah.
So we're on 17.
Yeah. Like in fourth block, 96% of the kids got it right in my honors class.
Yeah.
90% in my allied health academic, and then 76% in my regular academic for just
Okay.
number 17.
I mean, I guess it's a good thing that they knew how to do the protein synthesis,
Yeah.
but I just felt like
The reasoning, there should have been some more twos in there to where they knew what they were doing but couldn't explain it. And I
Yeah.
just don't think it was asking the right questions to get that.
That's what my thing was like, cause it's like, basically, it's the same, like there's not, I don't know.
What did that question look like last year?
Don't we have it? Do we have it?
We should have it too.
So for the writing, you said that they got more twos because, they're not, they got more twos on the writing because why? Why did we say they had more twos?
They didn't get
They
twos.
didn't get twos, okay.
Because they're not fully like the question was written to where they didn't really have to explain, even though it was an explained question.
Okay.
Because what it was asking was,
Like, what makes it the same? What makes it?
compare the proteins, and the answer was, it doesn't match the sequence. Like, it wasn't telling you to tell me that, like, the rubric was written weak, the question was written weak, they're not really explaining details.
Like, I feel like it should be something about how there was a deletion or a substitution,
Yeah.
and that's what
What
caused
caused the
change.
difference,
What caused
explains,
the change,
yeah. I was trying to see if that question changed from last year to this year. And if it did or didn't.
I can find all the other years, but gosh,
Hello?
What happened though? Why? 'Cause you're
Hang,
gonna
I'm in field C right now.
unless it's posted, is it still posted on our? Here's our rubric for 23-24. That's not it. So 23-24, I was just gonna need it changed since then.
Huh?
And it's not even on this one. I think it was on benchmark 3.
You're gonna.
No, it's not. It's on here. It says, explain how Mr. Smith's protein compares to the proteins from source 3 CT. So it's the same question.
Yeah.
Identify the amino acid sequence, determine if he has normal cystic, and explain how his protein compares to proteins from. Maybe we just taught it better with this unit with cancer.
Well, we also gave them the amino acid sequence.
The amino acid sequence, maybe the setup.
Is that, you think that's what
I
changed?
think last year we just gave them the DNA sequence.
That's what it was, because they couldn't give us the correct evidence for they couldn't do something right. You're right, but no, we gave this to them. It's just not in that chart on number 6, when 23-24, it's in the writing at the top. So we just didn't include it in that, I guess the chart at the bottom.
Yeah.
I don't think we had a revision for that one, did we? I think it was on benchmark, yeah, it was on benchmark too, so.
Just do a control.
I just looked at our rubric from 23-24, I know it's not the same, but.
No, I was looking to see if we had, like, this was our thing we had problems with. And we didn't even have a comment there, 'cause it- I don't have a copy of the benchmarks downloaded, I can't find them from last year.
Are they on school?
We might be able to look them up,
Yeah, is there a way to
when
look at
performance matters.
past?
I can look them up on performance matters.
Yeah, I don't think we can.
I don't know, if it is, I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't think we have
Because I feel
special
like
powers.
whatever is active.
Like, once they go not
Mhm.
active, whatever it is,
Mhm.
we can't see them.
So we can't pull up a kid from last year, is what you're saying?
You can pull up a kid.
But we
can't
can't
pull
look
up
at the
the
test?
So benchmark 2 from
Mhm.
last year.
So I thought we had all the PDFs right here, but there's not.
I think we downloaded them from before Illuminate left. That's what we did, we scanned them, that's why I have 23, 24. But then after that, we didn't do 24,
Because
25
I think the
last year.
download was it. Very. You personal.
Here's which works good.
Go to questions, go to the phenomenon, like I need to see the phenomenon that Google said. Number 17. So it has that policy. Go to those first. Normal system numbers. That was the same. The source 3?
The chart is the same? Yeah, so it's the exact same.
I know at one point we didn't have the amino acid sequence, because that's something we added.
It's the year before.
Somebody dropped off snacks in the front, so I'm going, they called you.
Okay, to go get the cart.
Uh,
They have a cart down there, you can just take that and then bring it up.
Okay.
It was Ben's parents.
Are y'all leaving and go somewhere today?
Yeah, we're going to Watson, Mississippi.
You want me to just leave this up and you can go through
It's,
it?
but it's the same, it's the
It's the
same, it's the same. So it wasn't last year that it changed, it was the. It's still there.
Do we have benchmark 2 from Illuminate from,
23, 24?
yeah, didn't we
It's still
download it?
there, look. Like if you go here. It's still a chart.
Oh, okay. Maybe we should do a better job of picturing. I'd say we toot our own horn. Toot, toot.
Did we just create it easier? Did we change the rubric?
We didn't change the rubric. I just looked at our rubric, it was the same. From 23, 24, I'm pretty sure it's just.
Maybe because I guess all the other constructive response questions were easy and then it became.
Yeah, this one usually I feel like kids get too, it's the explaining is what they use, or unless they really had no idea on how to get from DNA to. But
I just thought
really,
it was very vague of like
Mm-hmm.
what it was,
you mean the last bullet point?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you think it's vague and wanna rewrite that, what would you say would be a good?
I think saying how, like, explain specifically what changed. So like having them have to say that there was a substitution or.
Okay, so like explain,
How are we gonna get them to say that without telling them that? Like what would the question look like?
explain how the protein will function?
No, it's-
No.
Cause right now it reads,
But it says explain how. Cause like, my thing is, it has the, it says decide whether it's normal or CF, right? So you're already saying that it's CF, and explain, well, all it says is that it matches CF, like, you're just restating that it was CF by matching it.
yeah, I understand, but I don't know how to get it to,
So you can, I just typed it into ChatGPT, I don't know if this makes it any better. In what ways are Mr. Smith's protein similar or different from source three? I don't know. Or how is that protein?
Maybe it needs to be, why did you not choose the other one? Like you chose, like, let's say you chose CF, right? So
Okay.
then, why did you not choose the other one? And you would, that would be because it wasn't, because it didn't have pH.
what did they just say, because it matched the cystic fibrosis on it?
But that's not saying why it's not the other one. You're saying.
I had a
it
lot of
matches
kids
that.
say like it had a delete, like it had some.
I had some kids that
No,
was deletion.
and that's like, that's what I feel like it needs to be, is that there was a deletion, there was a substitution, there was something with the amino acid, or something with the DNA sequence that led it to be the amino acid was different. Cause like right now,
Okay, I see the problem. It says, explain how Mr. Smith's protein compares,
yeah,
and the answer, the rubric is talking about amino
Amino
acids.
acids. But
well,
isn't a bunch of amino acids put together?
yeah, the amino acid sequence is, but you could say like, what was different with the protein, or the amino
The-
acid?
The amino acid sequence. Explain what occurred in Mr. Smith's amino acid sequence.
That led you to, there, that's what it would be. Explain what happened in his amino acid sequence.
Cause
that
then
led
you
to
leave it
pick
vague.
Is,
Cause then you're like, it's the same, there was no mutation, or,
but that also allows you to say that it's missing the PHE.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the route to go.
Say it again.
Explain.
Playback.
Replay,
Um,
replay.
right.
That it needs, what,
It was
Explain
the
what,
amino acid sequence. It's
that led you to choose.
Yeah, it was like explain how Mr. Smith's amino acid sequence. Explain, what is it? Look, we can play back, we really can.
I really can, I can take it out and put it in my.
Can we just?
No.
Can we just play back?
Or I can play it back.
Explain how
I can play
Mr.
it back
Smith's
later
amino
and tell you what it
acids.
was.
Yeah, led you to
Sequence.
choose your answer for normal or CF.
It was something different than that
Yeah, but it.
but. Could we do it,
though. It was explain what
Something
happened to
totally
Mr. Smith's amino acid sequence.
explain how this change of amino acid sequence would affect Mr. Smith's health?
Well, then that leads into the whole not being able to breathe, like respiration.
And that would be
So would it- yes.
really understanding the proteins.
Yeah. But then
So
they're
either is the
gonna-
protein gonna function or is it
they're
not
gonna
gonna
copy.
function?
They're gonna copy whatever's in
They're gonna copy the reading.
the reading.
Yeah.
Because I had some that did that too, where they didn't. They just said like, what was the result of having
Okay.
CF, it was that. Which, I mean, if that's what we want them to be able to do, we may need to rethink what's in the reading.
I don't even know if there's questions that were pertaining, like, we'd have to go back and I guess see if there are questions in that reading that were in that.
Let's go do that, cause this has been around for a while. But I'll use on page 1 too.
I think it was like 3.
I wasn't here then, so I wouldn't know.
Nope, it's right here.
Oh, there it is. See, that's what the original was. That was horrible. And remember, we had to figure out what type of deletion or substitution it was. And it was like both I think it was go. But which of those has? Like we had them identify which one was. So John had the correct one. It was normal, and Abby had.
Explain why it is wrong using your mouth prior knowledge. So that's what it looked like in 2021. And I know after that it was like, absolutely not, they had to like transcribe and translate 3 different sequences, it was way too much, like work for one question.
Yeah.
I think the next year we changed it.
It was like a revised. I mean, I think I like the first 2 parts because like it
Yeah.
has them do protein synthesis once, and it has them compare what's known already versus what's there. I just think that it needs to go that step further, that there was some change, or and be specific on what that change was. I don't know if we can get that.
If we're telling them that there was a change, then we know we're giving them the answer too. Like the second part.
That's why I think the way that we said,
Like
explain
explain-
what led you to choose this
Or
one.
explain how his protein is gonna affect, I guess you could say him. So is it going to be normal, or is it going to be, like, is he gonna be able to function like normal, or is he gonna have the cystic fibrosis? Like, what?
How is that different from the
That's
second bullet?
Yeah, using the source.
So using source 3 to decide if he has normal or cystic fibrosis protein sequence.
But that's what really the third bullet is I feel like
It's like
exactly
the same thing again, yeah.
So do we just wanna make it a 2 point? Or is there a way to?
There's no CDR on the system.
I think that it should be what led you to choose this, and that is, there was a deletion, there was a substitution, or that it was missing the PHE.
Explain what led you to choose
Whether he has normal or cystic fibrosis, whether he is,
whether choose if Mr. Smith has CF or not.
That sounds better.
Okay, but I still see them saying, his
Yeah,
amino acid
just-
sequence match the CF one.
Then,
Could you say how could, how could someone's DNA be altered to have, or what could lead a normal person to having cystic fibrosis? Like what
Would that be
cause?
part of this question, or would we have to put that as a second question?
yeah.
I feel like it's just hard to not give them the answer. Could we say how are the DNA segments? How do they compare to one another?
So the big thing we know is the third bullet, not specific enough. And we would like for it to be. What would we like for the answers to be?
We want them to tell them about this, the mutation, there's a deletion.
Talk about the mutation.
Maybe that's what we can do, is,
So, we don't have to solve it right now.
yeah,
If we could just do a suggestion, since we don't know, and it could be something that we looked at in benchmark writing, if we can't figure out, cause like, I like to have suggestions, but
yeah.
somebody else may be
Yeah,
able
somebody,
to
yeah.
say something that helps really well. So I have that possible one written down, and then I have that we need to look at the third bullet. I said, look at third bullet, not specific enough, would like to answers to talk about the mutation that Mr. Smith has. Sound better that way?
Yeah.
So that's our analysis of benchmark one. I mean, benchmark two. So I wanna take a couple of minutes looking at the student data portion on our tracking sheet. I want us to see, like, looking at percents, like, are we on target to reach what we have to do for, like, LEAP? So this is our quarter one benchmark checkpoint.
Do we need to?
Okay, so I guess we could go through and mark those that are not meeting. How would y'all want me to sort it, by AQ, the benchmark checkpoint?
Yeah.
So A and then AQ.
And we're doing it just if they're below, right?
Yeah.
Alright, oh. We're only looking at AQ, right?
Yeah, so does AQ match AP? And I'm putting X's and AR if it doesn't match, like if they're below it.
to red or going to basic. I know that doesn't really help us out much, but. Oh, God. Okay, so I'm a little better than I thought. A couple of mine have moved up in the world. Moved up. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5. One hasn't taken benchmark 2.
Word though,
Okay.
to master, yeah, he's.
I have one that is,
So let's put it right here, we're putting them right. Wait, where's that other chart?
You want whether they met it
That's
or?
not what we need, we need this thing that looks like this.
how close is that to a mastery? Okay. I got 2 on the bubble of mastery.
But that's leap.
Yeah. Got 2 on the bubble.
Hold on, I need to copy that other one to do. That's fine.
Mine should be.
Number of students meeting goal at quarter one. This is gonna be at,
I don't know where I put that.
it's gonna be here.
The one that's done.
Hmm?
You're the one that has the least amount of difference.
Well, 2 of mine should be at mastery. They're not very far behind.
So I got 11.
And then one of mine hasn't finished his benchmark yet, so again, he should be basic when he finishes
That
that.
should, I don't know if I make it up, 69.
He missed like a week and a half of school, so I had to reteach him while they were through testing.
So just put it right here. I'm gonna move stuff around because it's not. 84%.
Well, and I have 2 that have never been here.
And those are X's for you?
No, I didn't put an X at all.
Okay, so this is just gonna be number of students meeting goal. And then we're gonna copy this. Mastery.
So do you want me to not include the 2 that have never been here? Cause I need to delete their numbers. Like, cause they're not included in my the missing, they're included in my totals, so do I need to 66? And then I'll delete them.
Yeah, I would, yeah.
66 and then that would be a 69.
Yeah, if they haven't been here, if they miss more than 10 days, then we take them out.
Okay, so I can drop them out of my phone, like,
Is it 10
never have
days?
shown up.
Class are only 5 days, cause it'd be 10 days a total year.
I think they said 10 days, I can check on it. They said if they've missed more than 10 days, then you exclude them. But the thing is though, even if, so let's say somebody missed 10 days, but they score a mastery or advance, they have the same rules apply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't count on one and not the other.
Right.
Okay.
So
Now.
I can delete these children that have never come in, is what you're saying.
If they've never.
They've never shown up, never seen them one day in my life.
Yes.
Okay.
So count all your kids that are at mastery and above now. So like percent mastery.
Okay, give me 1 second.
I'm just counting all my M's,
Oh, wait.
like all my green and all my.
Yes, got it. Like total together?
Yeah, total together.
And I'm putting that over here.
Yeah. I was just looking, like Bogra
Yeah.
and percent mastery, you're at a 3 right now. With me, I'm in 75% mastery, I'm at a 2. With you having 6% mastery, you're at a 4.
And close to 5.
Almost to a 5.
That was with my other kids though, do I need to change that since I just deleted 2 of them?
Oh, yeah, because you're 66, yeah. Oh, you're talking about like.
Before, when we did
Yeah,
it.
how you're,
You have predictions for those kids then?
No, we did, yeah, we put unsats for them, so that's why, like, cause we didn't know, cause we technically didn't remove them, but now that
Yeah.
she said that we can delete them from our stuff.
You don't go back and delete them from your original data, no. Yeah.
So then I need to put those 2 as an unsat then, is what I'm saying?
No, no,
Oh, whoops.
you just keep the numbers as is.
So I need to put it at a 68?
no.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, they didn't.
It's helping you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was looking good, I was like, yeah, I got a lot of kids meeting their goal, but I'm not anywhere near where I need to be 1% last year. Now, this is with all of quarter 1, let's just look at, let's do this again, but just look at benchmark data.